Share screen number 2. All right. What is going on, everybody? It is July 15th, Wednesday, and this is another Forex League live trading session. So as always, we are going to get into all of the pairs that me and Nick are looking at this week, and specifically for today, I've got all the major pairs that I'm going to run through. Nick is going to run through a lot of minor pairs for you guys, and I'm going to pretty much get right into it. So let's start off on USEF. Let's bump up to the weekly time frame. As always, we're going to do some top-down analysis. So as we're doing our top-down analysis, we can notice the weekly time frame is in a downtrend. So we are in a clear downtrend all the way focusing in on this area. I'm expecting for price to really get to this red line down here, to get to this zone before finding more buyers. It seems like it's finding a lot of buyers at this price right now. It's continuing to reject that level as we go down to the daily time frame. So in the daily time frame, clear downtrend, clearly red over blue moving averages. I'm just trying to get down to a time frame where we can see some structure, fairly clearly. On this 4-hour time frame is really where I'm looking at structure, and I'm looking at it right from this zone. Pretty much as soon as this broke, we were in a downtrend. We were forming some lows, but the moving averages were maintained this entire time. So we were really looking for where would this first lower high be made? Where's this first pullback? And right in this area, we've got like a lower time frame head and shoulders right here that broke. And then obviously that forms a level of structure right here. Boom. Got some questions. Double bottom coming for reversal. Good evening from India. Please enough. So really on this 4-hour time frame, there are a lot of sellers in this zone right here. Previously, we can see when the price was in this zone, we dumped out of it, then we dumped out of it again. So I'm expecting us to see some rejection right now out of this area. At the same time, I need to see a lot. I mean, this just broke 30-minute structure. This just broke 1-hour structure. So ideally right now we get some sort of higher low or some sort of pullback. And I'm going to basically look to exit on the higher low that forms. If this continues to fall through, never forms a higher low and just goes into profit, then that means we're just going to continue to maintain this trade. But just a little lesson right now on maintaining trades. This pair is breaking structure right now. We obviously need to see how this candle closes. We need to see how the following candle closes. But it is breaking structure right now on the 1 hour and the 30-minute. So we gotta potentially exit at a higher low that forms in the market, and we will send some updates on this, early today, probably within the next hour or two. So we're gonna be patient on USEF, see what happens. Let's go over to GU. This is interesting because I was basically waiting for USEF to fall, and as USEF was falling, that would push GU really to the upside. They're inversely correlated. Open and closed candles. Basically, this candle right here is the open candle. The time is right here, and these are closed candles. So candles that happened previously on this 1-hour time frame. So pretty much right here on GU, I was looking at as GU moves up, USEF would move lower. It's pretty correlated. But now, GU is coming all the way up. We broke structure right here on the 1 hour. We're coming all the way back up into this monthly zone right now. So it's going to be interesting, really, what happens with GU. If we see something similar to this, I'm going to bring out this bars pattern. Boom. If we see something similar to this, we come up, double top through the moving averages, we could potentially take a short position right in this area and put stops above here. We're just gonna have to be patient and wait. Obviously, we're not putting any limits on, we're not doing any of that. We're just gonna use price action. We're gonna wait on price action, see how price action unfolds. So GU, again, we're still in this retracement on this 1 hour break of structure. Overall, as I bump back up to the weekly time frame, we're bearish in the sense that we've been making lower lows and lower highs. At the moment, we had a little bit of moving averages crossed, so momentum really shifted from being bearish to bullish right here. And we are currently just retesting this monthly level of resistance, which is, definitely a major level of resistance right now. So as I come down to the daily, obviously we can see daily time frame. I had been talking about this, is bullish, made a higher high, made this higher low. 4 hour time frame, has been bullish, made this high, and pretty much, because we got to know every time frame what our structure is. The weekly time frame, we're bearish. The daily time frame, we're bullish. 4 hour time frame, we're bullish right now. We're actually making a higher low. So this thing on the 4 hour, on the daily, is showing that the buyers are in control. But the one thing holding me back from buying at the moment is this monthly key level, this monthly level resistance. It could easily come back into this level, grab a ton of sellers like it did previously, and push lower and start to break structure. Like this would be a break of structure on the 4 hour, and in turn, that would turn into the daily time frame changing momentum and moving over. So we've got to anticipate moves, on here. That's what we got to do. We got to anticipate them the best that we can. Right now, what's holding me back from buying is just this monthly level resistance. As soon as we pop above here, then I will be trying to go. Every trend will be bullish. 1 hour will be bullish. 4 hour will be bullish. Daily will be bullish. The weekly will be. Then on the weekly, I'll be thinking, where is my next potential area where I could find sellers again? And that would be up near this 200-day moving average, up near this zone right here. Boom. So I would ride this trend into that zone. So we got to see some significant break of this key level before, taking any sort of buys. And that is pretty much what we're going to wait on GU. So again, GU at the moment, the setup that was posted in the premium analysis is, GU, break of structure, 1 hour time frame, waiting on the pullback, and we're basically using that monthly key level as our main level that we're looking for sellers in the market. So that is GU. Let's go over to NU. Pretty much the same setup here. As I come to the weekly time frame is bearish. That's what we're basing our overall structure on right now, weekly time frame. Even up to the monthly, monthly time frame, making lows, making lower highs, making lows, making lower highs, making lows. Right now we're pulling back, trying to make a lower high. Weekly time frame, we've got this trend line, we've got this little minor level of resistance that's on the daily time frame, just a minor, pullback, support. That's where we're double topping right now at, and we're finding some resistance. And as I get down to the 4 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame is bullish. 4 hour time frame is bullish. As soon as this broke, 4 hour time frame is bullish. So this is similar to GU in the sense that the weekly time frame is bearish. There's a huge weekly confirmation here, but the daily time frame is bullish. The 4 hour time frame is bullish. And basically I'm just looking to scalp some sort of entry opportunity off of that level, off of this lower time frame break of structure, this 1 hour broke structure. Now we're pulling back, until I will not consider buys again until we get above this trend line, until we get above this red zone, until we break higher. And when that happens, I will take buys again into this zone. I will take buys higher into this area, about 60, 70 pips above. This is then another area where this weekly move could continue, and the weekly trend is overall bearish, so that's the momentum. So that's where I'm trying to really get in, because that's going to be a huge move on this. So at the moment, NU, again, we're just waiting to see if it rejects here. It could just blow past here. Again, we're not in a trade yet, so we're just chilling right now. If it presents itself similar to what happened right here, if it comes up, let's go with the bars pattern. If it comes up, finds rejection, much like this, comes up, rejects this 100% level, falls through the moving averages, we will put our entries right around here. We'll put our stops right above here, and we'll look to get lower on this. So that is NU. Let's go over to UCAD. So UCAD started to fall off. So we were looking, same thing on this, guys, that we were looking at on NU and GU, is this weekly or this monthly resistance level is like where we're in. And this is right where we want to be taking trades realistically. So all the way up to the monthly time frame, let's just go through top-down analysis. So we've got monthly, made this high, pulled back. So we're in an uptrend, red over blue right now. Weekly time frame, we made this high, pulled back. But at the moment, on the weekly, this is where I'm kind of looking for momentum. We had this bearish engulfing. We're right below this monthly resistance level. Moving averages are starting to point down a little bit. And then as I come down to the daily time frame, daily time frame is bearish. We just made this lower high. So with these bearish engulfings, boom right here, bearish engulfing, boom right here. So we are trying to get lower on this. So based on this daily, we're bearish. Let's go to the 4-hour. 4-hour time frame, we're in a huge consolidation zone right now. And basically, I look at this right here. This broke lower, retested this high, and then we had a little bit of a fake out here, this break above, but then some dojis, and this is just a tested level for me. So right now, I'm still bearish on UCAD. I'm still bearish on UCAD. I'm trying to get in on some short positions. As I look at this 30-minute time frame, this is pretty much, where I'm trying to get in on the position, and I'm looking for the next pullback. I'm looking for the next pullback to this level. Boom, right here, pullback, some resistance, at this 200-day, right rejecting this blue zone as well. And as soon as that happens, we will look for some sort of entry opportunity on UCAD. So I'm going to get this in the premium analysis. Now let's go over to EU. So EU has been climbing. The analysis has been pretty well for EU all the way on the weekly time frame. This is kind of where the idea was born. And when structure's forming well, it's fairly easy to take trades. Right now the market is different pairs are not forming structure as well as it normally would. So it's becoming a little bit harder to look for positions and take trades. And this is why you got to be patient. Like this pair is showing, according to what we look for, very clear bullish signs. We had a weekly break of resistance, weekly break of structure. Daily time frame, we had a break, made a new high. So daily time frame was bullish, weekly time frame is bullish. So the momentum, very bullish, pulled back. We made this higher low, confirmed on the daily time frame. And then as I come down to the 1 hour, this was that daily confirmation of the higher low. We were in a downtrend, lower high, retesting these lows, lower high here, and then ultimately broke higher right here, made this higher low. All entry opportunities, like through the moving average right here, made this high, pulled back, entry opportunity right there, riding the moving average, pulled back, another entry opportunity right there. So this thing has just been bullish as hell. And we can't, enter again on this until we get some sort of pullback. So I'm looking for a pullback right here. Boom. Looking for a pullback, and then, you know, once we get something through the moving average and then momentum shifts back over, that is when I will look for another reentry on EU. So I'm going to pass this over to Nick. He's going to get into, when he gets back, he's going to get into DXY first, and then get into some other pairs. And if you guys have any questions, you know, at all, feel free to post into the chat any questions that you guys have, and we'll be sure to go over those throughout the session and towards the end. You know, this session is definitely for you guys, so stay active in that regard. So I'm going to pass this over to Nick, and he's going to get into some pairs. Here we go.
Cool. All right, guys. So here we are back on the good DXY chart. So for those of you who don't know, I'll just do a quick recap of what DXY actually is. It is essentially the US dollar strength, as you can see in the top left, US dollar currency index. So it just shows dollar strength, and we always look at the US dollar because it is the reserve currency of the world, and it also makes up for 80% of all trade. So it's always a good idea to kind of stop in on these lower time frames and see what DXY is doing, because again, you know, a lot of the market is influenced by, you know, US dollar movement, especially more recently when you see such a large move. So let's just get a quick sentiment view on the daily time frame here. If we just zoom out a little bit, we can clearly see this is bullish, right? There's higher lows breaking through major resistance levels, holding as support on this monthly, and then continuing higher. So definitely bullish. The key level right now is definitely this monthly again. This is the lowest price action reached, and if we saw a bounce, it would continue with the bullish trend. And if we saw a break of the monthly, it would then start a larger time frame transition to the downside. So let's get a better look at more current price action. So we can see more so on this 4-hour time frame, we're bearish, right? Huge ascending triangle, and then price action kind of fell out, and this huge drop off over here. Found its support around this 95.75 handle, started creeping up, forming this ascending triangle. Very, very clear pattern. Came back up, formed a double top at the 50% fib level, formed good structure, found some more resistance off the 200 EMA, and then continued with another bearish leg. So now we're currently in a bearish channel. Very, very, very good pressure, good momentum. And then we currently just broke this 96.25 handle. So we've been waiting for this to play out for a while. We're expecting either a continuation between this range or a final break and retest. And we saw the break, retest on the backside of this candle, and then just continue to drop. So right now there's a lot of room for DXY to keep falling. Dollar weakness for sure this week. So right now we're looking to get down towards this 0% handle right here around 95.75, and then potentially lower it down towards our monthly. So we're definitely short-term bearish on DXY. Not looking that great for it. All right, so that's a quick analysis on DXY. Bearish as hell, looking for that continuation to the downside. Let's move over to AU. So this one's looking interesting too. Again, this moves very, very directly to DXY. If DXY starts falling off, you'll see AU start to appreciate and start climbing up towards major resistance levels. So let's go to the daily real quick. Identify sentiment. Super bearish, right? Super, super bearish. We're getting lower highs, lower lows, lower highs here, lower lows. So this huge spike to the downside is Corona. Let's not pay too much mind to that. Let's just try and find, you know, an area where we're either looking for potential short opportunities or potential long opportunities. So an area of significance, which would be this monthly. So we can see here that this was where the prior low was, right at this monthly resistance. Price action dropped, came all the way back up and tested that same level. So we're still bearish until this level is broken, technically, on this daily time frame. But right now, price action is making another push up to that monthly zone. So let's drop down to more current price action on a lower time frame. Zoom out real quick. Let's just identify that this is a very strong bullish trend on the 4-hour. Super, super strong, forming good structure, good patterns. Easily, you know, you can read it. Good price action. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this little pattern here. Right here was that monthly test of the prior lower high on the daily time frame. Double top, came down, nice little transition, and then started consolidating in the form of this slightly ascending channel. You know, we're getting higher lows, not too far off of where the prior higher low was, but still, you know, ascending, very bullish channel still. And then we saw even more restriction of price action in this area. So 0.693 and 0.699. So once price action got up into this upper half of the channel, we just saw price action bounce. A lot of indecision. 3 times off resistance, 4 times off support, tons and tons of rejection within this little channel, within this range. And then we finally saw a break to the upside, nice final support, confirmed higher low again, and then just push price action right through 0.699. So right now, good potential entry. Let's drop to the 1 hour just so I can give you this entry opportunity and what this would look like. Clear that up. Okay, see, look at this ranging. Absolutely insane. Right? No decision, no real conviction from the bears or bulls, just bouncing. And then we finally got the break. Here was the break and retest, looking for some sort of entry in there on a break, right? So break, retest, looking to enter on a higher low, which would have been here, targeting higher, back up towards our monthly resistance. So on a 4 hour, we want to more so wait for the pullback like this, try and enter around 0.699 again on very strong bullish setups. So let's go back to the 4 hour and zoom in right here. Yep. Okay, cool. So we're waiting for a pullback, enter on a retest, confirm higher low on this 4 hour time frame, targeting back up towards our monthly around 0.708. We're looking pretty good so far. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna grab a tissue, take a look at that.
Yes, sir. So again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to post in the chat throughout the session. And there's going to be no giveaway today, but I still got to announce the winner from yesterday's giveaway. I'm actually working on that right now behind the scenes.
All right, guys. Yeah, so as Angelo said, we're going to announce the giveaway from yesterday, but so you guys got a good look at AU here. So looking for that break, retest again, enter on a higher low right at this major support, new major support, 0.699. Could be a pretty good trade, looking to get 80 pips back up to the monthly, risking about 35 to 40 on the stop loss side. Okay, so that's AU. Let's keep moving. AJ, looking kind of interesting this morning. Not as much conviction as AU, but we'll get to that in a second. First thing you want to do, go to the daily. Notice how similar it looks to AU, literally almost exactly the same chart. Super strong bearish channel. Prior lower highs are at the monthly, key resistance. Corona hit, huge rally on the 4 hour. And then we came back all the way to this monthly, tested again, saw a massive rejection, and then a little bit consolidation. So let's just drop to the 4 hour, get a better look at current price action. So we can see this is that huge 4 hour trend, huge 4 hour rally, definitely bullish on this time frame. Here was that rejection, nice head and shoulders off that monthly. Price actually came down, consolidated a little bit, and then gave us this nice ascending channel. So this is actually forming a really good structure. Nice higher lows off key points, 74 flat. Definitely a really nice trend that we're seeing right now. So let's go ahead and find potential entry opportunities. So you always want to enter on higher lows within the trend. So we're looking for another higher low at 74.51, or basically 5.0 actually. So 74.5, looking to get in there. Any sort of higher low, or on a break of 75 flat. So this is one opportunity here. Let me move this over. Something like this. Right? Even if it pulls back, this is still very much bullish because, again, we're looking for higher lows. Until we get below this level over here, until we get back below 74, this is pretty much bullish. Okay, so that's one opportunity. And then, there we go. We could do this. So it's one opportunity, or you enter on a break of 75. Break and retest of 75. Always looking, again, entering on higher lows. Any sort of confirmation. We're targeting towards the upside around 76 flat. Okay, so whether this higher low happens here, where'd it go? Whether this higher low happens here or here, we're ready for it, and we're just going to wait for those proper confirmations. So whichever way it plays out, looking for that break and retest, entering on a higher low, targeting back towards 76 flat, which is our key monthly. Something like this, right? Stop loss would be a little tighter on that one. Ideally, you'd want to get in at 74.5. Better risk reward. Better protect yourself. You could even drop it all the way down to here and still be well in risk reward, proper risk reward. So that's 2-0 right there. About 140, risking 70. Okay, good trade. Waiting for those higher lows. Well, there's some questions. Let's run through those real quick. Cool idea. Okay, cool. Awesome. So that's one way to do it, guys. AJ, definitely looking super bullish right now. So just waiting for those confirmations. A nice retracement to 74.5, crossing back through these MAs, some rejection, and then bullish engulfing or bullish variation through the MAs again would be enough to enter on. Would be a really nice trade to see, actually. This is perfect, yeah, because everyone likes this time a little better, it seems like. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's see what's next for us. We got UJ. All right, so this thing's about to drop. Much like DXY, it's very, very correlated. So we'll get to that in a second. First thing we want to do, go to the daily time frame. What can we see? Massive bearish movement. So this is like one of the biggest descending triangles I've ever seen. Right, just lower high, lower high, lower high, and then just a clear low, which is where this monthly is around 106. Okay, so we can see off the bat, higher time frame is super bearish. And then even on this daily, we can see that there's ranging here. So let's just go straight to the 4-hour and see what we can find at more current price action. So again, remember, super bearish on the daily time frame, higher time frame. That's known. And then right now we see massive ranging between 109.250 and 106. See, every time it gets this area, it rejects. Every time it gets down here, it bounces, rejects, bounces, and so on and so on. Currently, we did see a nice pattern here. So like this was the high, this was the low. Price action came back to the MAs, started printing lower highs on this lower time frame, gave us this descending triangle, and then crossed back through the MAs. So this was a nice sell opportunity, and we actually entered on a break of. So we entered on a break and retest of this support. So this support of the descending triangle was finally broken, retested on the backside first, dropped, came back up for the real retest, and then gave us a nice lower time frame transition. So let me drop to the 1 hour for you guys, show you what this is looking like. This looks like a nice actually head and shoulders pattern as well. Nice lower high, good confirmation of a rejection from this level, right at the 61.8. So there's a ton of levels here, right? So we have the 61.8 fib level. This is retesting a broken support as resistance. We have a little head and shoulders pattern here, a good transition to the downside, nice bearish setups. And you can see that this was a nice entry opportunity on the right shoulder here as well. Let me get rid of this blue line. And yeah, we entered. So we entered actually over here a little prematurely, but that's okay. Still paying out now about almost at 1-to-1. So yeah, we're just going to play this out. Watch it go all the way down to -27. So let me go to the 4-hour. Again, guys, if you want to enter on this, you're always looking, in a short scenario, we're looking to enter on a lower high. So any sort of pullback retracement to this neckline, that would be your entry. If you get those proper confirmations, that'll continue down. Right now, huge exhaustion on this one candle on the 4-hour. Got about an hour left on this. So definitely looking like it's got a lot of bearish momentum. And then again, we're looking to get down towards the -27. Okay, for the short term. So that's our analysis on UJ. Looking pretty good, pretty clean setup. Textbook transition, break of support, tested resistance, lower time frame pattern, entering on lower highs and confirmation. Pretty much textbook, pretty much exactly what we look for in any scenario. So that's UJ paying out today. All right, now we got EJ and gold. So first thing we want to do, go to the daily time frame. Just gonna take it slow, get the broader perspective, and work our way down. We do that every single time. All right, bearish channel. Clearly, I mean, there's nothing bullish about this whatsoever, so that's bearish. We can say that clearly. What needs to happen for us to change from a bearish sentiment to a bullish sentiment? We need to see a break of 123.5. Right, this is where prior lower highs were before. Tons of resistance, huge zone, current rejection from this huge spike. So this is the zone to break or bounce from, 123.5. Okay. Overall time frame is very bearish again, although we do see that this is a massive 4-hour bullish trend. Let's go ahead and drop down and get a closer look. Right, bullish trend, no doubt, huge rally, shot up to 123.5, that zone we just talked about. Gave us a very extended, exaggerated head and shoulders pattern, finally dropped, and then started bouncing a little bit. Gave us a bit of an ascending triangle, not the cleanest pattern, but definitely a bullish pattern for sure. We're getting some higher lows, establishing new levels of support and resistance. So pretty good trend right here. We can see nice higher low here. This was a fake out, so this actually killed me. I was looking to go long here. It looked like a flag pattern. Took this buy on the cross, came back up, double top, and then shot down to a new higher low around 120.5. It actually erased this higher low, pretty much erased this higher low, and went straight for this one. So this was a little disheartening because it did turn into a loss. And then it finally reversed and then surged higher. So we were right on sentiment. It just needed that kind of reload before it shot off. So it just, sometimes it happens. That's trading. But anyway, to reevaluate where we're at now is it broke through key resistance. Now it's looking to test the support. So 122 is a critical area for price action currently. So it does look like it was a significant close above. It looks like a real close above. Now we're looking for a real retrace, a real retest of 122. So we're looking to go long. Looking for any sort of lower time frame transition once price action gets closer to 122, about 20 pips away, 25 pips away. So we'll be analyzing, waiting for certain setups to kind of play out in this area, waiting for structure to form, and then we're targeting back up towards 123.5. So it definitely looking like a good trade, definite momentum trade right now. Just looking to enter on the right price action confirmation. All right, so that's EJ, looking pretty good. Right, textbook break and retest. We're entering on this higher low in here, definitely. So about 150 pips, risking 50, 3 hours to reward. That's arguably the best trade that I've covered so far. So let's move on to gold real quick. First thing, daily time frame. Nothing other than bullish momentum, pretty clearly bullish as hell, very, very strong. Establishing new support over here, breaking resistance, kind of rallying higher, getting above that 1800 handle, which had tons of significance, guys. Real milestone for gold. So let's jump to the 4 hour and see where we're at. Again, super bullish trend, as you can see here. Just absolutely nuts. Good structure, good price action. But we are a little bit overextended. I would like to see some sort of structure level hit, 38.2 specifically, or the 61.8. Any sort of retracement to that, followed by bullish setups, would be ideal. Right now, we are forming a bit of a little box pattern here, as you can see. Let me get rid of this pattern, this background. These a little thicker there, like that. Okay, cool. All right, so in a bit of a box pattern now. So a little bit of an indecision right at that 1800 handle, looking for a break to the downside or break to the upside, and then we could reevaluate. But again, ideally, I want to see one of these levels hit. It's definitely due, especially since we got over 1800. So something like that would be perfect. Looking to enter on anything in this area, right? Any bullish engulfing, any transition, any bullish variation, price action entry after we've had confirmed structure. So that's what we're looking at, something like that. Okay. And yeah, that's gold. So I mean, not much playing out right now on gold. Waiting, just kind of waiting. Right now, the big ones are EJ waiting for that retrace, or waiting for that bounce rather, pull back and bounce. UJ is already mid swing. It's actually dumping right now, which is good to see. Take a look at DXY. One look, also dumping. And AU is just surging. It's literally just flying through the sky right now. Look at this. It's strapped to one of freaking SpaceX's rockets. This thing's going off. All right, so guys, just a quick recap. Covered DXY for you. Covered AU. I can't believe that. I've never seen AU move so much. It's crazy. Anyway, that's AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. All right, so some good analyses there. Angelo covered a bunch. I covered a bunch. And so yeah, wait for him to get back. Answer some of your questions, guys. Mr. Right shoulder on the for UJ. You're talking about, Brian? Mr. Right shoulder overnight. Yeah, it did form out pretty nice. I know we just covered that in our session yesterday. Perfect time ever. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So yeah, we covered some good ones. AUDNZ. Interesting. What is this? All right. so let's go back to UJ. I'm gonna drop time frames while Angelo's coming back. I want to get a little closer on the 1 hour here. So yeah, look at this thing, guys. This thing's just kind of surging to the downside. And this is because of, the US dollar. So US dollar is dropping, so naturally you'd see USD, JPY start to fall off as well. And we got some good volume coming into the market. Nice exhaustion on this candle. And it's just kind of melting. Definite momentum here, bearish momentum. If any sort of reaction is going to take place, it's going to be at the 0%. So we'll reevaluate once we get there. But we'll be well over 1-to-1. So little management tip is once you're over 1-to-1, your stop loss goes to break even. It's now a risk-free trade. You cannot lose money on it. Okay? Nice little tip there. We're almost there. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We are at 1-to-1 right now. 32 pips in profit. Stop loss was 30 pips. Looking to get down towards 75. Roughly a 2.5 risk reward. Okay? Let me just find out where this guy's at. All right. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. Drop in chat what trades you guys are in or what you're looking at. US 30, GCAD analysis. Maybe there'd probably be some. Okay, so what you want to do is, if you want some very specific analysis, go to the Discord. Ask in Discord. People are always willing to share. We're kind of limited on time here, and we are pretty, restricted to, 10, 12 pairs at a time.
Yep.
Otherwise we could just spend all day on here. You know what I mean? So
exactly. Yeah. So whatever guys, whatever you want analysis on, we'll do some bonus analysis for you guys. And again, any questions, always feel free to ask. We'll update the time, of whether we're going to do this time again, and I'll get the giveaway announced today. So we hope you guys, have a good rest of your day. I'm going to get this posted after this session, and we'll keep updating all the analysis in the chats. It looks like UJ's falling.
Yeah, it's looking good. Looking good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So thanks again, guys. We appreciate it. It's been another live trading session. We'll be here again tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.